Alright guys, this thing is a proper missile now. Holy shit. All your clips in the video so y'all can see how crazy this thing is. Oh shit. Yeah. That first gear is alive now. Holy fucking shit. Yep. It's definitely got a lot more pull than it used to. This is fucking crazy. I haven't pinned it yet. Like, I have a feeling if I pinned it, I'd go up to like 100 miles per hour, and let's not do that on a main city street. Not a smart idea. You can just hear it. And like, I'm barely even pulling, and it definitely gives me a little bit of a pull. Now, luckily we're going to the fucking bank over here, so. I should state, that was not fully pinned, and that was in third gear at like low RPM. What a fucking nightmare. It's a good nightmare though. Alright, so I know I say this a million times. Real quick guys, if you have one of these bikes, the SC77 or the CBR1000RR SP, or you know, any of the CBRs that are 2017 to 19, you need to get this flashed if you're in the US, because you are missing 20 horsepower right out the gate, and probably even more than that if you combine, you know, there's free mods you can do on this bike. Not all bikes have it. So you have air intakes, you know, 2 of them that go into the air box, one on each side right here, and they put these little block off plates that restrict air from going in there. You can call them air restrictor plates, whatever. Anyways, those are just glued on so you can pull them off. You have to take off this plastic right here. You have to take off, you know, this whole section right here, and this, and you have to unbolt right here, and you basically have to pull this part off to get to it, and then you just peel it out, and it all comes in like right into here. There's a hole like this right here. So that's one thing you definitely want to do, and I felt an immediate gain in power as soon as I did it. It probably was like, you know, 5 horsepower. Now you know, you may be like, oh, that doesn't make any sense, but trust me when I say airflow is like one of the biggest things that they've, I say screwed up, but they did it intentionally. They didn't want, for whatever reason, they didn't want these to be at full power. You know, what the Europeans get of this exact same bike. So this bike right here, you know, coming out the gates, probably like, what is it, 168 horsepower, and that's, you know, at the crank, that's BHP. The actual at the wheel is probably like 152 to 155 horsepower, and just from flashing it to the EU, like base, just like what EU comes out at, it's 175 at the rear wheel and 189 at the actual crank itself. So even if you weren't going to tune it for even more power than that, just getting it set up to the Euro spec, like the way that Euro has it, is a huge, like 20 horsepower gain alone. And mine probably exceeds that even more. You know, you want to get rid of the intake restrictions, and then there's an airbox right under here. I went ahead and put a race filter in there. I could, trust me, between the tune and, you know, fixing all the air problems, and I have a serious feeling like it's running a little bit rich right now, and that's because the exhaust hasn't changed out yet. Once the exhaust is changed out, it's going to be a whole different story. So I'm going to put some clips in so y'all can see how crazy it is. It's smooth power delivery though, getting this tune. The guy I got it tuned through is RC45 out of the 1000RR.net website. He specializes in these bikes. He also, you know, he does tuning for this. He's turned one of these into a world superbike. So that alone should tell you something. It's pretty crazy. So next thing, tomorrow I have the full exhaust system coming in. Can y'all guess what it is? I'll give y'all a chance. Don't worry, I'll make a video on it. Today I'm going to go ahead and, as soon as I get this back in, I'm going to pretty much take all this stuff off, do the oil change. Once it cools down, it's going to be a little bit, and I'm going to take the headers off, and I'll probably record all that so y'all can see how to do it. It's super simple on this bike. The hardest thing is going to be probably just taking the plastics off, to be honest, because the plastics go in a very specific way and it's kind of a pain in the ass. Other than that, what do I think about the actual tune itself? Insanity. But it's smooth, right? Like it's not like unmitigated chaos. It's like very smooth power all the way through the power curve. Like I can feel the difference between, you know, in the low and mid range, when I turned this, there was just nothing there. Now when I turn it, like I feel the power just the entire time, and that's something that's just crazy. Now, I think he was saying top speed now should be around like 186, something like that. You can exceed that with, you know, a couple other mods, but that's a hell of a lot, you know. I'll be honest, that's a crazy ass amount. I want to say, I wonder where your frame sliders go. I think they just are right here. I'd like to get those and some tank sliders, and that would just be like the ideal setup. So, only other thing I need to do, excuse me, only other thing I need to do is I need to take this part off right here. I think this goes to the brake, so not the brake itself, but the there's basically like a little exhaust thing over here I need to take, or not exhaust, sorry, yeah, exhaust servo. This thing used to have a motor in it that was up here, and I'm going to take that motor out now because basically getting it tuned removed that from even being an issue. So we got a lot of things to do. it feels very smooth, and you know, we got a little bit of work to do, but you know, we'll get there when we get there.